Hello there and welcome back to another Thunderous Productions video. I'm the madman behind the mic, Jag Thunder, and this is Minecraft. And what's up guys, and welcome back to another Play with Thunder episode. Holy shit, has it been a while. The last episode was episode 27, and I don't even have the date in front of me how long ago that was. But anyways, it was just after I did the Gerald Ford carrier, and put it down here in my naval base, and I was comparing the old Enterprise with the newer Gerald Ford class, and I think I was working on the anchoring system or the forecastle area of the Enterprise in the beginning of that episode, and then toward the end I was talking about how to basically get rid of this square look of the Enterprise, the first tutorial that I did, versus the whole of the new one, which is a lot better, and it just looks a lot better. So anyways, I've got shaders on. If we can't see it, we will turn it off. But anyways, you can see how this one here blends a lot better, and it goes back in. You can see it really good right here. And then on the other one, it's very, very straight. So at the end of that episode, I was trying to tell everybody how to try to make those corrections and make this one a little bit better. But what I have done since that video, and it was shortly thereafter, I completely reconstructed a new Enterprise, an old CVN-65. Basically, I took a lot of the things off of this one here. I redesigned a new hull underneath it, and moved everything over. I spent several weeks moving things and readjusting things to try to get everything to line up the best I could, and it still needs a lot of adjustments, but it is a lot better. Hopefully you can tell, maybe you can't. The first thing is we are lower on the deck, so the main deck is not quite as high, so that the carrier doesn't look like it's top heavy like this one does, especially with the square looking hull. It looks more like a building. This one here I kind of modeled after the Gerald Ford. It's not exactly the same because obviously the holes are different. It doesn't have the bulbous bow, so it kind of goes straight down and then cuts and then goes back. But what I did do is I used it as kind of like a modeling reference, and streamlined everything back and cut down on a lot of different things, especially this platform here got moved a little bit, and the bottom of that was tore off. I think I streamlined this a little bit. I tore everything from about here off and down, and then reattached it to the new hole, and smoothed it out a lot. So I think that turned out much better, much cleaner. My decks, I'm starting to go with the coal block. I think that looks probably a lot better than the dark gray to get the deck material, so it looks quite right. I still got to work on the blast shields yet. I want to make those longer, move them forward a little bit, and then incorporate the coal into the middle. Things on the list. That's what we're going to be talking about here in this particular episode. Obviously, things that I have changed on the new design, and hopefully you guys can get some ideas on things that you can do to make yours better without completely rebuilding the whole thing. And then maybe when I'm completely done with this in 5 years, because I've been working on this for about 3.5 years off and on. Hopefully I can get this finished in the next couple of years and maybe do a brand new tutorial with a full interior and everything. That would be really, really cool. All right, there's probably a splice right there. I was flying down into here and my phone rang. And anyways, had to take it. So as what I was talking about is, again, in this episode, talking about different things that you can do to your carrier without completely redesigning it, from the ground up. So I redid, let's see, the elevators. I know I had one elevator that was like one block off from the other ones. So I redid those, and actually I think I made them wider than the original one. That way I could fit two of the F-18s on it side by side with the wings folded up, and I redesigned the anchoring system, the cable system, which actually there's some cables out here I need to put in yet too, which hook onto the outside of here. Again, just all kinds of little details that need to be addressed as we continue through the Play with Thunder series again, even though it's been such a long time since I've done a video. But I did mention it a while back on Facebook and Twitter or something or another, or in another video, and people have been asking about a comparison video. So that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. Got the Sea Kings on board, got the Greyhounds on board, the Hawkeyes on board. Got a couple flying above, which look pretty cool. And again, switched out the deck to the coal. That's what I was talking about. I think that looks a lot better than the dark gray. And you can see from the back how much higher it is than the Gerald Ford. So I made this the same height as the Gerald Ford, and future possible carriers will be about this deck height. And I think with that lower profile, I think it looks a lot better. The back end needs a little touching up and redesigning. This back corner needs some touching up and redesigning. I've got my CVN cannon on the corner that I put in, designed that and put two more on. There's one behind the island here, and then there's one on the forward port station up there that's got one. I've got some missile launchers on here now, or missile stations. That's one there, and then on the starboard side launch platform, there's another one up there too. So as far as the exterior goes, that's a lot of the major changes that I did do to the Enterprise. Oh, I got a meatball now. I got a meatball. Where's the spaghetti, Jag? So I've got a really nice design for a meatball. I think that turned out really nice. And I think, and I'm not sure, that might have come off the Ford. I can't remember. That might not even have one, or it has a different one. I'll look afterwards and I'll annotate it. But anyways, I've got that now. Like I said, it's been several months since I've worked on this or even looked at it, so I'm trying to remember some of the changes that I did do to this. The tower needs a lot of work. There's some radar systems that need to go on here. You can see the back of the tower over here has windows on it. I don't know why I was making it like that. I think at the time I was just allowing light to get inside of it so we could see what we was doing, and I never changed it back out, but it should be solid. The lettering on the big E, it's got shadow box on it now, so you can see the black kind of drops down to the right, and same thing on the 65. Makes it pop a hell of a lot more, and I started doing that to all of my ships, a little bit at a time. The LHD-2 over here, I think the Essex, I think is what that is, or the Keysarg. I'm not sure. But anyways, you can see the two over there really stands out even from this distance. I did the shadow boxing on it, so I need to do the shadow box on that too. Eventually, it's all on the list of things to do, but you can definitely see a difference from that 65 and the one to my left. So you can see how I made this a lot taller. It's not quite as fat and chunky, and it looks overall much sleeker. I've got another CVN cannon right there, and let's see, the launch system, missile launches station up here. I've got that added. Before it was just a couple blocks. I need to change these fence posts out to my darker black ones that I've got right here and get rid of the wood ones. And then the final station on this side should be a CVN, and it is. This, again, needs some serious fixing. With the new hole design, it goes in a little bit quicker than it actually should. I should be out probably about in here somewhere. So with the sleeker hole design, I lose. I've got to redesign this, is what I'm trying to say. This came off the other one, and it's floating way the hell out here. I need to push it back and probably push it forward, probably up into here anyways. So that's something that needs to be worked on over time, and that is pretty much, I believe, it on the exterior as far as tweaks that I've made and things that I want to work on. Obviously, the catwalks all the way around the side need fire stations and stuff like that, like I put on the Gerald Ford, or started to. So eventually I like to trick all that stuff out with the proper stuff that needs to go on there. But everything on the interior on the ship actually survived pretty well. And I'm going to turn off shaders just so we can get a better look of what's going on inside. Now with the new hull change and the redesign, everything's set up by one block. When I lined everything up in MC Edit, and I was off by one block. So I've started ripping this out here in the back. because I need to drop the main hangar bay down by 1 block, and then the floor above it down by 1 block, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But in doing so, I'm going to have to drop the elevators by 1 block. So I've got a shit ton of work to do inside of the hangar bay and along the elevators to get everything to line up once I make those adjustments. I started putting the hoppers in the floor for the little pad eyes. I haven't decided if I really like this or not. I like that it breaks up all of the charcoal, or the coal blocks rather, and it doesn't look quite as meshed one texture all the way through the hangar bay, even though that's what it looks like in a hangar bay. So I kind of like it, and I kind of don't. I did up here in the hangar bay 1. Underneath these there is a light block, because the light goes through the hopper. So it brightens up the hangar bay a lot more. You can see back here it looks a little darker. There's no lights, and then up here there are. The only problem with it again is when I put on shaders, which you can't see anything inside of buildings anyways with shaders, but the whole floor just it just glows. So again, like I said, I haven't quite decided if I like the pad eyes in or if I will take them out. Part of me thinks that I will probably take them out. This is in the wrong spot. This needs to be down in, I'm trying to remember now. I think it's right here, right up in here it needs to go. But the problem with that is I think there are some, what is over here? Nothing. Might be the next one over, I think, is where there are some barracks, some berthing areas. So that, what is that? Floating. Let's get rid of some of those. So that's why I said some of this lined up really, really well, some of it didn't. That looks good. All right, anyways, so this here needs to be moved. That is not where that goes. The ceiling. I've redone the ceiling. I started adding in some, obviously some lighting up there and some framework to hold the lights. I think it looks good. It kills the height, so I lose a full block by doing that, but I'm going to gain it back by dropping the floor. Once I do that, the Sea King will fit in here, just barely, and the Hawkeye and the Greyhound will fit inside of the hangar bay. But right now they don't fit. Up front, everything still lines up. All the elevators that go down to the magazines through the forward mess deck. So you can see there's just a huge redesign of the hull, a lot smoother, and it looks a hell of a lot better. Up here is the forecastle, so that's still in the same spot. I just had to eliminate some of the things that was here. MC Edit does not like trapdoors, so I'll have to fix those. Lost a lot of the width that I had up here before, because this was lower, but again, because of the new hole design, it didn't fit, and I really didn't feel like redesigning this. So I kept this design, and I cut some of the edges off of it, where I had the bosun mate stations here, where they throw the ropes and stuff down to the docks. So I eliminated all those for right now. I'll have to come back and redo those. I want to put plating on the floor where the chains go, so it slides on, some sort of a steel plate or a steel deck underneath it. And I've got pictures of that, so I can, kind of work that out. I'd like to put some kind of painting on the floor for the bosun's mate symbol or something eventually, and I think that would look good. But I do have the portholes, where they need to be for right now. And everything else up here lined up pretty good. So this gets us out to the catwalk. And so that lined up really good. And we're back to the outside. So anyways, that is a lot of the changes that I made several months ago that a lot of you wanted to see the differences. This part here is all wrong. This was a very old design. I rushed through it, just trying to get it done and get it out. And this is all wrong. The refueling area is wrong. This over here, the refueling station, is wrong. I'll have to fix all that. So these two areas I did not transfer over because they are completely wrong. So I'll redesign those. But you can see the difference from this elevator to this one over here. And these might actually be elevators off the Ford. I think I might have transferred over with MC Edit and made those, but I'm still gonna have to drop this here down to here to get that deck height inside here to line up. So anyways, that's where we're at. I would like to do again a play with like I did before, where I was actually inside the ship and building, and you guys are kind of following along and getting some interior ideas, because there's been a lot of you along the way that have asked again on some interior designing of the ship. See this here just completely whoops shit, completely gone. I just completely ripped out. But again, I know a lot of you have asked for interior tips and interior designing or tutorials on the inside of a carrier, because I've been on one. I've been on this one specifically. It helps a lot. So again, if you just happen to see this for the first time, there are several episodes prior to this that will cover all this that I've already done inside the ship, and give you plenty of ideas. This here's obviously ahead. I want to redo the shitters because I've got new designs for the shitters now. So those will get redone. The showers, I've got new designs for the showers, so I can redo those if I have room in the floor to make some adjustments there. So yeah, a lot of this, I didn't have the skill or the blocks to make the way that I wanted to when I designed this ship. So it's nice to be able to go back and try to recorrect things and make it a lot better than it was originally. So still pretty excited about touching this up and bringing it up to speed with the rest of my builds that sit here in my naval station. So anyways, that is probably about it. Yeah, I've got a big hole over here. There's a future ship that's going to be sitting there, and I had to go ahead and take it out of here for right now until I finish it, and then I'll drop it down here. The naval station is going to be getting some serious updates over the next 5 to 8 months. I've got some big builds that I want to bring up here, and some of these I'm going to have to get out of here. I know the battleships are leaving the naval station. They're going to get their own dedicated area, and that will free up several docks down there for future builds. Once this one is a little bit more completed and I don't need nothing off this one here, I'm going to move this one over and it will sit next to this one. And then the Mini 65, I think I'm going to make some kind of its own little dock over there where the pirate ship is, just to free that up from the main port area here. And I think that's it, guys, for this episode. Hopefully we don't have such a long span between this episode and the next one. And the next one we can jump in and go over a few more things that I'm working on the inside. And I can have a few more things done and maybe everything lowered and lined up where it needs to be by the next episode. Obviously, some of this stuff I'm going to do off camera just because it's a hell of a lot easier than trying to do it while I'm talking. And, it takes some serious thinking to line a lot of this stuff up. And I don't want to be distracted by trying to come up with some decent commentary while I'm working on it. But the smaller stuff that I'll be working on inside, mostly on the second floor where all the medical and some of the berthing areas and magazines and stuff like that are, we can drop in together and bullshit about some different things. So anyways, again, want to start this series back up again. So make sure you smash the like button for me to show big time support that you want me to bring back the Play with Thunder series and finish up this Enterprise like a weekly thing, like I do my Let's Builds. I got rid of the Let's Build a Suburban House. This is one of the episodes I want to replace it. So if you want that too, again, hit that like up button for me and let me know this is what you want. Like always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.